On June 9, 1672, in Moscow, a child was born who would profoundly reshape the destiny of Russia, Pyotr Alexeyevich Romanov, later known to history as Peter the Great. His birth marked the beginning of a reign that would drag a vast, largely medieval nation into the modern era, setting it on a course to become a major European power. Early life and tumultuous ascension. Peter's early life was far from stable. Born to Tsar Alexis and his second wife, Natalia Naryshkina, he was the 14th child of his father. Upon Alexis's death in 1676, the throne passed to Peter's sickly half-brother, Fyodor III. When Fyodor died without an heir in 1682, a power struggle ensued between the Naryshkin and Miloslavsky families, culminating in the Moscow Uprising. This brutal event, witnessed by a young Peter, saw the murder of several of his relatives and deeply influenced his character, instilling in him a cautiousness and a ruthless determination. Ultimately, a compromise was reached. Peter would rule jointly with his mentally and physically disabled half-brother, Ivan V, under the regency of their elder half-sister, Sofia Alexeyevna. For years, Peter lived outside the direct glare of court, spending much of his youth at the Preobrazhenskoye estate. It was here that he indulged his passion for military exercises, forming "play regiments" that would later become the core of his modernized army and navy. He developed a deep curiosity about Western technology, particularly in shipbuilding and military engineering, and surrounded himself with foreign advisors and craftsmen. In 1689, Peter, now 17, decisively overthrew Sophia's regency, effectively taking sole control, though Ivan V remained a nominal co-ruler until his death in 1696. The Great Reforms and Westernization. Peter's reign from 1682 to 1725 was defined by an ambitious and often brutal program of reforms aimed at modernizing Russia along Western European lines. He recognized that Russia lagged significantly behind its European counterparts in terms of technology, military strength, and administrative efficiency. His famous Grand Embassy to Western Europe in 1697 to 1698 was not merely a diplomatic tour, but a fact-finding mission, where he personally studied shipbuilding, military tactics, and various industries. Upon his return, Peter initiated sweeping changes. He reorganized the army, creating a professional, conscripted force and establishing a navy from scratch, a monumental undertaking for a landlocked empire. He reformed the government, replacing the old boyar council with the governing senate, and creating colleges, ministries, based on Swedish models. To break the power of the old nobility, he introduced the Table of Ranks in 1722, which based social status and official positions on service to the state rather than on hereditary privilege. Culturally, Peter's reforms were equally radical. He famously ordered noblemen to shave their traditional beards and adopt Western dress. He promoted secular education, established schools of navigation, engineering, and medicine, and even founded Russia's first newspaper. He encouraged the translation of foreign books and brought in Western architects, engineers, and artists. Perhaps the most visible symbol of his ambition was the founding of St. Petersburg in 1703 on swampy land captured from Sweden. This window to Europe became the new capital in 1712, a city built with immense sacrifice, designed to project Russia's new European identity, a lasting legacy. Peter the Great's relentless drive transformed Russia from a largely isolated, backward state into a formidable European power. His military victories, particularly against Sweden in the Great Northern War, 1700 to 1721, secured Russia's access to the Baltic Sea, opening crucial trade routes and strengthening its geopolitical position. In 1721, he proclaimed Russia an empire and himself its emperor, solidifying its new status on the world stage. However, his reforms came at a tremendous human cost. They were often enforced with an iron fist, leading to widespread resistance and rebellion that were brutally suppressed. The burden of taxation and conscription fell heavily on the peasantry, and serfdom was further entrenched. Despite the harshness of his methods, Peter's impact was undeniable. He fundamentally altered Russia's trajectory, laying the groundwork for its imperial expansion and its eventual rise as a major player in global affairs. His legacy continues to inspire debate, but there is no denying that Peter the Great was a towering figure whose vision, energy, and determination irrevocably changed Russia and left an indelible mark on European history.